Yeah, well, it's basically it's a second. You know, the first being 20,000 US, of which we did just at the start of the rainy season, and that encompassed the excavation of the main channel, the main drain that channels all the water that comes from up from the hills, and channels it into the river. So we had to excavate that, and then that was valued at basically 10,000 US, and then the other 10,000 US, it came in the form of heavy duty equipment and some cement to continue on the improvement of the infrastructure for some drainage.
Have you seen a contrast in the rates of flooding in the area?
Of course. Immediately after we dug the main channel, a heavy downpour came down, and you could have seen the water flowing. So I can tell you that the general community highly recommended and applauded us for a job well done. So I really, at the time, we applauded and thanked the ADF for their kind contribution. Now, this is a second phase that Dr. Figueroa assisted us in, and this again is 40,000 belize in kind, and this is for us to work on some drainage, some key drains and culverts up in Cayo North, Flamingo, Garcia Street, and Western Street. So those include the upgrade of the drains, meaning we're widening the drain, deepening the drain, and changing the culverts, because the culverts are too small. So we need to put bigger culverts in place that will able to channel the large volume of water down. So what happens is that we are trying to be more, rather than being reactive, we are being proactive, and we're starting a comprehensive drainage project that will eventually see a free flow of water through the community without affecting the general public.
In terms of projects, what do you have in mind in the short term?
At this moment, for San Ignacio and Santa Elena, we continue with them. I can tell you that presently we have a project at the cemetery in Santa Elena. It is a chapel, and that is supposed to be completed by the end of this November. This chapel, we began it about 2.5 years ago, but we continue now with some finances that we have generated through the town council. And basically we find it very important to get this chapel done, especially as we go through COVID crisis, where people cannot cluster. It will be an open area where people can then use to have the service before they lay their loved ones to rest. We have that, and then we have other infrastructure along the highway where we are constructing a stone wall with an art within. And what we will be doing is the art within the stone wall will be more a display of the different ethnic groups in the country of Belize. And again, we are preparing for the rebound of our economy, whereby we are preparing more for what was devastated. It's tourism, and we are planning to roll out a twin city tour, and that will be a part of the destination.
Any other comments, sir?
Well, I would just like to, at this moment, thank the government of Taiwan for assisting us with this, the Minister Figueroa for his part that he played in making this come to fruition, and of course the San Ignacio and Santa Elena Town Council and the residents that have been very patient with us as we have been working in trying to get this comprehensive drainage project that we believe have been long awaited, one whereby the people have been inconvenienced, especially as we get the torrential rain and people have to be chased out of their home because of the water. But at this time I would like to again ask the residents of San Ignacio, Santa Elena, and the country by extension, to just let us, as we go through this COVID crisis, COVID-19 crisis, let us work together, let us be responsible, to mitigate the spread of this deadly virus. And be responsible by wearing our masks, keep our social distancing and sanitize as much as possible.
Mayor, we know that the PADF is, I think they said they donated over 100,000, right, for the project. But can you explain to me if how many fees they left for the project, and will it cost more than 100,000?
All right, as the coordinator explained, we have received over or about 40,000 beliefs in kind to alleviate the flooding. The other 40,000, and this we mostly did in Northeast. The other 40,000 will be centralized in Kaya North, and the 20,000 went to a part of the study of the drainage project. Other phases, I cannot say how many, but it will depend on how we write our proposal and submit it to them for approval.
But
definitely, it is something that we need to continue, as this is just the start of the comprehensive drainage project. Remember, San Ignacio and Santa Elena is very big, and at this moment, we are dealing with the bottleneck area to improve on the diameter of the culverts and the drains. And as we go, we study the areas that are most in need of improvement, and we go until we are through with all the
last question, is there a plan or time limit that when all this thing is finished? Or
Mr. Pandya will tell you that at this moment, I don't see us finishing this before the next 6 years. Maybe it'll be 6 to 10 years, because this is something that we are initiating. And if you study the downtown San Ignacio and a part of Santa Elena, during a torrential rainfall, you will see the main roads, the main streets within San Ignacio and Santa Elena flood. So that in itself, we have a project ongoing for that, for the 5Cs organization. One that is a grant of almost $10 million. But honestly, that will see the complete upgrade of the main streets within San Ignacio and Santa Elena. That will see the main drains that would spill the water into the river. That will see all those dirty water channeled into a wetland.
okay.
That will naturally filter the water before it goes into the river.
Okay.
So it's a comprehensive project, and we are looking forward to this. But I don't see this taking 3 years. It's a long process.
Thank you, Mayor.
One final question, Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
The Mayor
sir.
of Belopan had told me a few years ago that in order for the towns to do hydrological study, it would take a lot of expertise and it's very expensive. Do you consider eventually making a hydrological study on the flow of water, to study the actual flow of water?
Yes, sir. As what Dr. Figueroa mentioned earlier, we are currently working with the Taiwan government, one that will be conducting a LiDAR survey that will show us how the water will be flowing in the future, how it flows and where it will be concentrating. And that will help us to concentrate and focus our resources on the main drains in those areas, definitely.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.